Good morning. Welcome back to Dr. Kim's Going Live. My name is Lara, and this is Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Please excuse my voice. I've had a sinus infection for over a week, and I'm hoping that my voice will come back, but we're still here, so who knows what's going on.
So you're kind of
Good. Well, I can't believe that it's already the last week of May.
I know.
It's Memorial Day weekend this weekend. I'm so excited about it. Do you guys have any plans?
We'll probably some family stuff that we'll do Sunday. We usually do it on Sunday. And probably, hopefully, if the weather's good, we'll swim and cook out for sure, that kind of thing, and just hang out together for a while.
All the fun stuff.
It's fun. It's kind of the kickoff of summer, really.
It is. It definitely is. I'm so excited about it. And hopefully it stops raining. It's been raining here for the last 2 weeks.
So much rain.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which I guess May it usually does, but I'm ready for some sunshine.
I'm so ready for some sunshine and some 80-degree weather.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so I'm going to do some trivia from this week's dispatch. If you guys don't know what the dispatch is, Dr. Kim releases a new dispatch every Thursday, so check that out. Okay, so if you have a lot of phobias, and it says about 20, and don't want to list them all, you could just say that you have what? Do you know what it is?
I know what it is. It's polyphobia.
Polyphobia. I'd never heard of that before.
Fear of many things. I mean, it's kind of fun because the topic is on fear. So I thought, okay, we'll just do some kind of trivia or things on different kinds of phobias. So there's a list of them and see if you can identify them, which is kind of fun. I'm trying to put something that's a little fun to start at, whether it's trivia or facts that we don't usually know about, or just something that kind of be fun each week.
I loved it. I wanted to do a couple more questions, but I couldn't pronounce any of the other phobias. So that's why I chose this one.
Yeah.
And then the quote that I really enjoyed, it says, "I have accepted fear as part of life, especially the fear of change. I have gone ahead despite the pounding in the heart that says turn back," which is by Erica Jong. And I think that that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's so often that we let fear rule our lives, and it keeps us from doing things that even God may want us to do. And so it's learning to overcome that fear. And that's really what the blog is all about this week.
Yeah, and I love that. And I can't wait to talk more about that. So this week on the Awesome Marriage Podcast, it's our second week of our break. And so we're going to repeat one of our favorite episodes. And this week we're repeating checking in so you don't check out, and then how to prevent conflict in marriage. And that is going to be episode 335. So Dr. Kim, without giving away what this episode is completely about, do you want to just give us like a little summary?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the difference between doing what you can to prevent conflict and avoiding conflict, because avoiding conflict is usually not healthy because you let things build up. So it's basically preventing conflict would be something like, okay, I choose my battles well. I'm not going to get upset over little things that really don't mean anything. And so in the so we're going to talk about that in the communication part of it, of just making sure you're talking in a way that your spouse can understand what you're saying. And then when your spouse is talking, we're going to talk about how to listen well to your spouse and how important that is.
I think that's so great. And I mean, I know that from time to time I can, be talking to Boom, but not actually listening to him. I can be on my phone. I can be watching a show. I can be doing all of these other things. But I know that we have to spend, a certain amount of time with our spouse each day and just actually genuinely listen to them. And I'm excited to hear some tips on that.
Yeah. And just like you're saying, it's all the distractions we have in life. And I think we have a lot more now than people probably ever did. And so we got to figure out how to do that and get the distractions out of the way so we really can hear what our spouse is saying.
Yeah, that's great. And then that podcast it's out today. So go to the Awesome Marriage website or go to any major podcast app and just search checking in so you don't check out, how to prevent marriage conflict. And that's episode 335. And then this week on the Awesome Marriage blog, where it's the wrench. This wrench can bring the cycle to a halt, and that comes out tomorrow on Wednesday. And I think that this is actually a really, really great blog. One of the quotes that I chose was, "Why do we hesitate to do something that God actually tells us to do?" And then Dr. Kim, I know that this is about forgiveness. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think sometimes we justify not forgiving. And even though we know that it's pretty clear in the Bible that God says that we're to forgive because he's forgiven us. And so in this, it's like, why do we not forgive? Is that we feel like our spouse is getting away with something. They haven't been punished enough. They're going to, if we forgive them, they might do it again. So what gets in the way of forgiving and how to break through that so you can forgive your spouse and work on restoring a relationship?
Yeah. And that, like I said, comes out tomorrow. So stay tuned. And then this week's dispatch. So I know we spoke about this a little bit earlier, but it's fear in your marriage. And that comes out on Thursday. And so in a couple of sentences, can you explain what fear in your marriage is about?
Yeah, we're going to talk about identifying fears that can harm your marriage or limit your marriage, and then what it takes to kind of take the deep dive into that so you resolve it so that doesn't continue. Maybe you've had a bad experience with a boyfriend, and so in your marriage, you kind of put that on your spouse, and so it limits how close you get to your spouse or how vulnerable you're able to be with them. And so it's okay. Let's identify this and let's figure out how to get past it so your marriage can be better, be more of what you want it to be.
So how long did this take you and Nancy to achieve?
I think we worked through a lot of things early. I think the fact that we were so young when we started dating that we didn't have a lot of baggage from other relationships. I think a lot of ours just came from learning how to live with a man or live with a woman and to accept those differences and then just to trust each other. You kind of do that. I mean, you want to trust, you go in trusting, but then I did things different than her dad did. She did things different than my mom. And so you have to figure out, okay, is this something I can't trust, or is just this who this person is, and how do we put that together? And so I do think it takes time. And then I think as you go on in marriage, other fears can come up, maybe financial fears. Maybe there's some triggers from something that even predated your marriage, but it's causing a problem in your marriage.
So if you have one piece of advice to give to someone right now who is struggling with forgiving their spouse, what would you say to do?
I would go to prayer first. I would ask God to soften your heart towards your spouse.
Okay.
God to help you see your spouse through their eyes. And then I think by faith, you forgive. And it may be a process, if it is something like maybe it was pornography or something. And so it really hurt you. And so forgive. And so it may take a while for that to just really penetrate to your heart. But tell God, I want to forgive. I want to keep this, and let God work in your heart till you feel that forgiveness completely.
That's so good. And if you are struggling with forgiveness, this dispatch comes out on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. You can find that on the Awesome Marriage website. And then our vlog this week comes out on Friday, and that is titled Reframing Your Spouse. And just in a couple sentences, what is this about?
Yeah, it's a series, a 4-part series on margin in your marriage and creating margin. We know how to do that in finances. Well, how do we do that in marriage? And that really, this one we're going to talk about really a lot about grace, about creating that, how we look at your spouse. And maybe you look at your spouse, maybe you look at Boone and he's always late all the time. And so when he shows up, your tendency is to say, why are you late? I've just been sitting here waiting on you. And instead of saying, he has really been busy. I know he wants to be here with me. I want this to be a great time when he gets here. And so when he comes, you just embrace him and say, I'm so glad you're here. And so you've given him grace, and that's going to grow the relationship. And so that's kind of what this is all about.
I love that so much. And I know that was a great example because I can tend to get a little bit upset if he is running late or if he's not, where we're supposed to be at the same time. So I am really looking forward to that.
Good.
Yeah. And then, okay, so Memorial Day's this weekend. I know that you and Nancy said that you're going to have the kiddos out on Sunday.
Yes, we are.
And you're just going to hang out and enjoy each other.
Absolutely. Depending on the weather, what we'll do. But yeah, even if it's rainy, we've got ping pong table in the garage. We'll play ping pong.
Yeah, you're going to have fun no matter what.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And then what Bible verse this week is impacting your life?
Well, the one I was reading this morning I really like, and it's from Isaiah 55:8. It says, my thoughts are nothing like your thoughts, says the Lord. And my ways are far beyond anything you can imagine. For just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And I think sometimes we just forget that we have access to the creator of the universe, and he does know more. He knows everything. He knows everything about us. He knows us better than we know ourselves. And just that we have access to him all the time. And sometimes we just forget that, I think. And we just
we definitely do.
Our own power.
Yeah.
And when we could just say, hey, God, you are wiser than I am. You know more than I do. So I really need your help in this. And asking me, and the cool thing is he will answer you, and it makes it really good. Makes it easy.
It does. It definitely does. I know that I can tend to forget too. Sometimes I just try to take my own life and, do what I think I need to do. And then I have to take a step back. And just like refrain from everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I know it's only Tuesday, but what's something that's happened to you just in the last week?
I think in the last week, Nancy and I've really begun. So we took pickleball lessons last week,
Yeah.
and then we played with some friends on
Mm.
Friday. And I just love the sport, and it's so much fun because so many people of all ages are getting into it. I really do think it kind of started as kind of like retired people, and now it's like
Yeah.
all people are getting into it. The place we went to play, I mean, they were all ages playing, so
Yeah.
it was fun. It's a good social thing. Love that. And then we bought a bunch of flowers, and so we're planting flowers and kind of making that transition. I think we're kind of late this year because the weather has been cooler, and usually
Yeah.
we have everything in the ground by now, but the we planted a bunch of pansies in the fall, and they still look so good. And so
Yeah.
Nancy let me pull them up, but she finally said, "Okay, you can pull them up.
It's time.
It's time to pull them up."
So I hate to ask you this, but did you and Nancy win, or did the other couple win
On
in the pickleball game?
so there's one couple we played with that really is good, and they beat us. The other couple we
Okay.
split with, and it was funny because we were behind, like, you played at 11, and so we were behind like 9-3 or something like that. And I just looked at Nancy. I said, "We're gonna win this thing." And so we did. We just got point to point. We kind of tied them. And then we went ahead and you have to win by 2, and then we won. So it was
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
not that we have to win, but you can't, if you played sports, you're competitive, it's fun.
Yeah.
It still comes out for sure.
Yeah. Pickleball is so fun. I actually got to play a couple months ago, and I was surprised how much I liked it.
I think it's something that most people can pick up pretty easily.
Yes.
And obviously you get better the more you play and all that kind of stuff. And there's some people I was watching that were really, really good, and you can tell they played a long time. But it's something that you can pick up and play pretty easily with just another couple anytime you want to.
It's a great sport to just get outside and just to have fun with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, don't forget to check out our 30-day communication challenge. It's our 6-week challenge that's filled with Bible verses, challenges, and questions that will help you grow your marriage with God and your spouse while enhancing your communication. You can find this on the Awesome Marriage website. Just go to resources and then just click it, and then the 30-day communication challenge will be right there. And then Monday, the 31st, is the last day to get the Dating Diva Sex Seminar. So make sure and grab this while you still can. We actually have a link that will give you a discount. So either go to the Awesome Marriage website and then search the sex seminar at the bottom, or you can go back to a couple of our last posts and the link will be there. And then I saw this on the news this morning. If you live in Oklahoma, tomorrow at 6 a.m., we're going to be able to see the lunar eclipse and the supermoon at the same time.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about that.
6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. Yep. It's going to be really clear. So we're going to be able to see it like very visibly. It's going to be really cool.
That'll be cool. That'd be fun. I love doing stuff like that.
Me too. And then if you have any questions for us, make sure and just drop them in the comment section below, and we'll answer them next week. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. Have a great week.
Yeah, have a great week. Thanks, Lara.